Okay. I can stay and, yeah, he can film it if he needs to, yeah.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to get started here. How's everybody's morning going? Not sluggish, right? You guys are, Adam, ready to go? Day 3, fired up? Pike, you bringing it home? Awesome. Good to hear, boys. Well, to introduce our next speaker, she's going to be presenting to you on the Taylor Trudeau Cycle for Life and Philanthropy 101. She's a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority from the University of Wisconsin, where she graduated and received a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Having an extensive background in fundraising, her and her husband started the Taylor Trudeau Cycle for Life Foundation about 5 years ago with the support of our Gamma Mu chapter at the University of New Hampshire. So gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Chief Foundation Officer of the Taylor Trudeau Cycle for Life Foundation, Leslie Trudeau.
Okay, hi guys. When the camera guy comes, I have to stop and put this on, but we're going to start, I'm going to tell you a joke, okay? The Lone Ranger and Tonto went camping in the desert. After they got their tent all set up, both men fell asleep. Some hour later, Tonto wakes the Lone Ranger and says, "Kimosabi, look towards the sky. What do you see?" Lone Ranger replies, "I see millions of stars." "What that tell you?" asked Tonto. The Lone Ranger ponders for a minute and then says, "Astronomically speaking, it tells me there are millions of galaxies, potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, it tells me that Saturn is in Leo. Time-wise, it appears to be 3:15 in the morning. Theologically, the Lord is all-powerful and we are small and insignificant. Meteorologically, it seems we have a beautiful day tomorrow. What's it tell you, Tonto?" "You dumber than buffalo shit. It means someone stole the tent." Okay. How does that relate to philanthropy? It means let's not overanalyze this. Especially don't overanalyze community service. This is a paragraph. Community service is something you do in your community that you should spend no time planning. It should cost you nothing. Your brothers should all participate, and it's a little sweat equity. Okay? You find something that's needed. I particularly like cleaning the highways. You get your own sign there, Pi Kappa Alpha for this part of the highway. You do have to make sure it's clean, for the sign to work, but there's big brothers, big sisters, after-school programs. I mean, there's numerous things that your community needs. Pick one, do it every year. Contact them when you start, find out when they want you, be there. It's done. It's easy. Doesn't take any of brain power or exercise other than getting your brothers there. Philanthropy is the harder part, okay? We deal with 90 chapters now, and what I have found is most of the chapters don't keep good records. They don't know what worked, what didn't work. A lot of them try something different every year. They're slapping it against the wall. A lot of the philanthropy chairmen are relatively new members, maybe don't know the systems, and it's like a deer in the headlights sort of thing every single time. And for you guys to really be successful in philanthropy, and for you to get a brand, which this is branding through philanthropy, you need to be consistent. You need to have a signature philanthropy that you're known for. And if you do that, it happens every year. So it's not brand new. You know the successes from it, you know what didn't work. You improve the things that didn't work, you capitalize on the successes. So there's a reason Susan G. Komen runs and walks every year. I mean, they don't have to plan it, they just have to put it on. So that's really important that you look at it from that standpoint. In the world of fundraising, we have a motto. It's called Kiss the Post. The KISS part is easy. Keep it simple, stupid. That's doing it over and over and over again. Post are the four, you don't need to take notes, by the way. I have this whole thing written up back there, and feel free to ask questions at any time, okay? Post are the 4 pillars of fundraising: participation, online donations, sponsors, and teamwork. And a great philanthropy uses all 4. A good philanthropy, you probably don't have sponsors. I think it was a good philanthropy, and we could really improve on it this year, didn't do the online donations. And a typical $400 philanthropy is, we tried, a few people came, that was it. So if you follow the program, whether it's My Cycle for Life or your own philanthropy, if you follow the 4 pillars of fundraising, you will succeed, okay? So let's talk about participation. A great philanthropy is fun, especially for you guys, but that goes throughout fundraising. People come to it because, yes, they want to donate to the cause, but B, it's fun. They talk to their friends, they spend X amount of time, and they have a good time. They go home and they feel good because they did it. So whatever you do, it should be fun. With your generation, you should have music, you should have sociability. It should be a good time when you're having it. Participation should be more than the Greek community. You need to find a way to engage your whole school. Now, there's a couple ways that you can do that, and the biggest one is utilizing your brotherhood. Everybody in your group does more than just a pike. They're on an intramural sports team, they're in the drama club, they're in the French club. I mean, I don't care what it is, but they all have outside places that they are. And you need to utilize them with sign-up sheets. Take this to your intramural game. Sign the guys up. I mean, what we do, I am allowed to plug the cycle, so I'm going to. But we provide all of our chapters with sign-up sheets. We also provide them with a Square credit card reader. They send the guy to the club. He's got the Square credit card reader. He signs them up. He swipes their credit card. He marks it paid. And A, you have your money in advance. Whether they come or not, who cares? I mean, they paid, right? But, you should utilize your brothers to go out and get campus-wide participation. At UNH, I'll give you an example. The president of UNH donates every year to the Cycle for Life. Why? Because a brother, a couple years ago, went to his house, gave him a t-shirt and an invitation. At Creighton, every professor that anybody had came and cycled. Why? The brothers gave them an invitation. I mean, it's pretty simple. At our charity, we provide you guys with the invitations, okay? I mean, you just take them and you hand them out, and why should it just be the Greeks raising money for other Greek organizations? You really should do everything you can to get the word out. Set up booths on campus, have sign-up sheets there. I mean, go out and let people know what you're doing. Get your t-shirts and wear them the week before so that people can say, what's that? And you go, well, this is what we're having. Have the sign-up sheets with you. Come on, sign up, let's do this. I mean, you will get more participation if you're out in the community asking. However, the Greek system is still incredibly important for your participation. You all support each other. So if you want all those girls to come to your events, you better be the fraternity that goes to all of theirs. Be the guys that show up and say, we support you, and be there. And then they will also come back and support you. Okay? Participation just means getting the word out. And that's the key to it. Online donations. Some of my chapters are really good at this, and some of them are afraid to do it. I'll tell you right away, your parents, your friends, your family, their friends are very, very happy to donate to something you believe in. So if you can get the word to them that this is important to you, they will donate. It is the single easiest way for you to double or triple the dollars you're currently making in your philanthropy. We at the foundation provide an email. And it tells everything. It's got a picture, and we send it to the philanthropy chair. The philanthropy chair sends it out to every brother. He says, everybody bring your computer to chapter meeting. Everybody stays after chapter meeting for 10 minutes. Okay, you all have this email. I want you to forward it to 10 family and friends members. I'll plug us again on our website. Everybody has their own chapter page. So the email puts them to their chapter page. They hit the donate button. They put the credit card in. We get the notice that says it came from the University of New Hampshire. We email the University of New Hampshire philanthropy chair. You just got $50 from so-and-so. Okay? It's such an easy way to get donations. I will also tell you what we do is we keep a record of every single donation that you get by email and by address. And we keep it forever. So the chapters that have been with me 4 and 5 years have pages of donors, because you get donors from brothers that graduate and you lose track of everybody. So what they do is I send them the mailing list. They say to the brothers, pull off anyone you're going to contact. They send back the mailing list to the foundation. We send the letter to all of those people asking them to continue to donate to your event. You would be amazed. The normal rate of return on that is 2%. We run about 50%. So that's, something that if you're not working with us, that's something you should be doing, is keeping track of these things. If you do the online donations, it really can save you if you have poor participation or something else goes wrong. I had one chapter that was all set up to do it. They were doing the online donations, and that 2 days before the event, the rec center pulled the bikes away. Okay, they had to cancel the event, but they had still $3,000 in online donations. So, they still had a good philanthropy, okay? Yeah.
So our philanthropy, we have like a CrossFit competition where we get people to represent competitors and donate for every set that they complete.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad idea to do it that way instead of a flat rate.
Well, I'm going to say this, time is of the essence. So if your people can do this in a short period of time, I don't think it makes much difference. But so many of the competition things take 3 hours. You win, you have to wait to the next one, then you win, you got to wait. So you're asking people to spend a lot of time. When you do it on a per person coming in, the person bikes, runs, does whatever you're doing for half an hour, however much time they want to give. So you tend to be able to get like the whole sorority coming. If there's 100 Kaios, they each come like for half an hour. We've found in most of my chapters that that's a much more successful way, but it has to do with how much time you're asking people to spend.
Well, ours is, you get like sponsors,
Mhm.
represent them, so they don't even show up.
They don't even show up, okay? I guess it's a question of how many sponsors you get, and I mean, you have no chance of going any higher than your sponsors. So if you look at how much money you have, you divide it by 10, you need that many participants to make the same thing. Could you get more participants? That's the way I would look at it. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I don't know how much sponsor money you make and stuff like that. But, I mean, if you run an event over and over again and it's fun and you have giveaways and everything, that people then say, yeah, this is a really fun event, and so you get more and more and more and more. I mean, so that's how you have to kind of look at it. Sponsors. This is the bane of existence for all fundraisers. It is incredibly difficult to get a business sponsor. They are asked every single day to support something. And they're going to support you because they believe in the cause, maybe. They're more likely to support you for advertising or added revenue. And you need to be able to say to them that if you give me this $100, I am going to put your logo at our event. I am going to put you on our website. I am going to, get you the advertising you need. And if you also have to be willing to negotiate. If he says, I don't want to give you any money, well, give us a $25 gift certificate. Then whoever gets that will come in with that gift certificate with 3 or 4 people, and they'll spend $50. Cost him $12.50 for the gift certificate. So for $12.50, he gets $50. I hate to say this, but a lot of these guys need you to tell them that. Sounds crazy, but when you do that, you also show that you know what you're doing, okay? When you are asking for business sponsors or online donations, it's really important you're working for a reputable 501c3 organization. There are a lot of rules and regulations to be a 501c3 organization. One of them is that you have to send a letter to everyone that donates $250 or more. You need to make sure your organization is doing that, okay? I mean, you're not going to have any success the next year going back if they didn't get the letter, okay? That's first and foremost. Second of all, you need to know how much of the $250 is tax deductible. The IRS a couple years ago was not issuing 501c3 licenses because their directive was to eliminate all the 501c3 organizations that did not give away at least 50% of what they took in. I think 50% is a crime, okay? I mean, I just don't agree with that as a fundraiser, but it took them 4 months to eliminate those people. So just because they have 501c3 status isn't enough to check. You really do need to know what percentage people take as a tax deduction, okay? So your businesses also need to know that, and they need the letter. And if your organization is not getting that to those business sponsors, that does not need to be $250. Any product you get, anything like that, they need a receipt for that, for them to be able to declare it. At our foundation, we give you the letter, we give you the 2-part tax form. So you go in, you get 100 Cliff Bars, you give them the letter, you write up the tax form, you rip them off, you give them their copy, bingo, bango, they're done, okay? But whoever you're working for should also be providing you with that, okay? If they want you to go out and get sponsors, you should be getting some of these tools. I'm going to talk about teamwork now, and this is kind of hard to talk about, okay, because I'm not a Pike, okay? I have nothing to do with recruitment, but I am going to tell you that if your chapter is not 100% behind your philanthropy, you will never succeed. Your philanthropy chairman cannot do it alone. That's why they have committee members, okay, in any fundraising event. If you're expecting one guy to put on a fall and a spring philanthropy, you're going to burn him out right away, and he's going to say, I'm done, and I don't want to do anything else. The philanthropy chair could be a great succession point to external vice president and on up if you do it correctly. And by that, you need a succession plan. I mean, you need to have a philanthropy chair. Then you have your philanthropy event chairman, okay? Then he has 2 committee members, okay? The philanthropy chairman, the committee member, and the 2 members cover the post program. One takes participation, one takes online, one takes sponsors, one's involved in teamwork. Okay, now one person isn't doing all that. Okay, so when you change officers, one of the chairmen moves up to philanthropy chair, the assistant becomes the Cycle for Life or whatever chairman you have. You have a succession plan. You haven't burned everybody out. And if you don't make philanthropy a key part of your program, if you don't talk at recruitment that this is important to us, if you don't talk to your pledge class that you are expected, you are required to participate in our philanthropy and community service events, you are required to participate in our online event, you are required to show up at our philanthropy, and you are required to spend the same amount of money that we're asking the participants for. If you don't, as a group, embrace it, you will never, ever have a successful philanthropy. And I can't say it any other way. I mean, it's the hallmark of gentleman, scholar, leader. Doing good is part of what that's all about. You're the lucky ones, I gotta tell you, you know? You're getting a college education. You're healthy. You've got a bright future. It should make you feel good to do this. And if that's not happening, then why do philanthropy? But I will tell you, you won't win a Smythe without it. Okay? Plain and simple. They look at that. It's important to them. So that's one reason. The other reason is, you know, there's a love-hate relationship with the administration and the Greek system. It's gone on forever, okay? I mean, they love you one day, you have a little bauble, and they hate you, okay? If you are known for a great philanthropy, that little bauble may not be quite the problem that it is without those kind of things. So it's important as the group to be involved, and that, believe it, it really will help you. The other thing I will tell you is I write so many letters of recommendation for my cycle chairman. I've written letters of recommendation all my life. I have very rarely gotten a phone call. I get a phone call with every single letter I write here. I don't know why, but they're always saying, did that guy really run this event and raise that much money? And I go, yeah, he really did, you know, and he's one of 86. I mean, yeah, Here, look, go to our website, look online, see how we donated $250,000 to a clinical research trial. The Pikes did that. I mean, when I tell them that, these guys get jobs like that. I mean, they are amazed. So there's lots of good reasons other than making you feel good. Y'all did community service to get into college. I mean, you know, it was important on that application, and it's equally important when you go out in the world. Questions? Come on. Anybody? Yeah.
So I'm from Washington State, and we have a little bit different situation. We just recently got shut down
Yeah.
a couple years ago, and we're kind of blacklisted.
Yeah.
At the school, we can't do any community service. We can't affiliate with any sororities or other fads there, and so we just are really kind of lost at what to do with that. I mean, do you have any suggestions? If we try and do anything with anyone else, they're always threatened by the IFC and the...
Well, when they say you can't do any community service, they're saying that you cannot do a philanthropy event on campus just yourself?
Yes, that's correct. We can't get community service through the school. We can't go to or advertise.
Or advertise or anything.
They don't want to see our name or see us on campus.
Okay. Okay, so you're all living off campus now.
No, we're on campus.
Oh.
Our house didn't get shut down.
Oh.
We just got shut down by the school. We just unrecognized by them.
Yeah, I got to tell you, how long does that last?
2015.
I don't have a good answer for you. I really don't. I mean, I had to say this. I mean, I have chapters that have gone off and come back, but I've never had anyone try to do something when they
Yeah. And
are.
that's kind of what their plan was. The alumni and then nationals wanted to keep us around, but they wanted to get rid of us, so they kind of just tried to cut anything off they could. So we tripled off.
Do you have a good alumni association?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'd work with your alumni association and say, we want to do something and we want to prove that we're good guys, and, maybe they could get a gym and let you, through the, and have the alumni association put it on, and you guys come and support it, and get your friends to come and support it, and get some good press at the area that the Washington State Alumni Association is doing this. I mean, I would work with your alumni association. They're not banned, you are. So if they do it, and if you say to them, okay, we want you guys to, it's under your, we'll work with you, we'll, help you, and we'll do all this, but you're putting it on, you might be able to get around it that way.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
Any other questions? Yep.
What's the name of your organization?
We are the Pi Kappa Alpha Taylor Trudeau Cycle for Life Foundation, and we have a booth downstairs. We've been doing this for 5 years. Taylor died, and the Gamma Mu chapter at University of New Hampshire started the Cycle for Life, and it's a stationary bike marathon, and we ran it for 2 years at UNH to get the kinks out, okay? And then we started up the foundation, and we started calling on chapters. We had 6 chapters the first year, 17 chapters the next year, 60 chapters the third year. Last year was the first year that we were at the Denver conference. Signed up another 20 chapters at that. And this year, if you don't know it, we donated $250,000 to a researcher at MD Anderson, which is the #1 cancer center in the world. We are funding, and it's not me, it's you guys, okay? The Pikes are funding a phase 1 clinical trial that uses what's called natural killer cells. Everybody in their body has natural killer cells. If you have chemo, those are killed. And nobody up until this man has found a way to take them out of your body, keep them alive long enough to replicate them, and after chemo, put them back in your body. And this is it's a little bit more holistic way of, curing cancer, but it's cutting edge, and we deal with blood cancer, which is leukemia, lymphoma, and melanoma. But this we liked as, a trial because it could work with any cancer. I mean, it is a leukemia doctor that has developed it and is working on it. But anyway, that's who we are. We are the positive press for the Pikes.
So when chapters sign up with you, do you guys assist them?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you. Yeah. Okay. Now the infomercial starts. Okay. When you sign up with us, you send me an email. You commit to joining our group, and you send me a picture of your group. It can be your house, your brothers. I don't care if you're at spring break, but that goes on our website. You get your own chapter page. It has your own donate button on it. Okay. Then you let me know if you're going to be a cycle member or what we call a Plan B member. Plan B members are guys that don't have a rec center, don't have enough bikes, have a competing bike event on campus, something like that. So then they run any philanthropy they want and donate to the Cycle for Life. I have templates on about 8 philanthropies: Strikes with Pikes, Pikes Pizza, beach volleyball, my favorite, okay, I will admit it, Cal State Fullerton. They were a colony. They auctioned themselves off for a dinner dance, group dinner date and salsa dance lessons. They raised $5,000. I mean, it was like, first time out as a colony. So, but I mean, those are Plan B schools. So all my chapters, whether you're Plan B or a cycle chapter, you get the banner, you get the wristbands, you get the email campaign, you get the sponsor letters, the 2-part tax forms, you get advertising flyers, you get the Square credit card reader, you get sign-up sheets, you get our coveted red How to Put on a Philanthropy book, which every one of my members will tell you if you follow the book, you'll have a great philanthropy. And you get our coveted Cycle for Life lapel pins that you've seen a lot of the guys wearing.
So how does your, what is your sponsor for?
Well, my sponsor form is, if you come to our booth, I can show it to you. You get a letter on our stationery, okay, and it says that it's done for each one of your events. It says that the Pikes at such and such a university are holding, whatever they're holding on this date, and we would love to get your sponsorship. My letters, most of the guys want to ask for $100, and that puts them on their website, our website, and a sign up at the event. $50 puts them on the a sign up, not on the websites. And then they ask for a donation, whatever, if you can't do that. Gives information about the 501c3 organization, tells them what they're doing, and then they have the official government 2-part tax form that is, Pi Kappa Alpha Cycle for Life, and you just fill in the guy's address and what he gave, and you give him that. So that's how the sponsor thing works.
Our biggest problem is basically for us to get sponsorships, we just email as many local companies as can, contact the Chamber of Commerce, to contact them.
Does it work?
It doesn't really work.
Yeah. It's not going to work, I'll tell you. You're only going to get a sponsor if you go into the place. Talk to the owner or the manager, okay? Face to face, that's how you're going to get a sponsorship. I mean, an email is really easy to ignore. Most of you have already ignored my emails because I email almost every chapter asking you to join. So it's very easy to ignore. A phone call, they will screen it and say, who is it? And they'll say who it is, and they'll say, tell them I'm not in. The only tried and true way to get a sponsor isn't, with the size of my foundation, it's making an appointment and going to talk. But with you, it's walking in. You shouldn't bother with all those people. You should go to the pizza place that you guys use, okay? Go to the bank that you use. Find out what family members have a business, okay? Those are the guys that are going to sponsor you. I mean, you can get creative and go to some nail studios to get little gift certificates for the girls, but I mean, in general, you're going to, be the best with those people. And you have to understand one visit probably isn't going to work because they're probably not in. So you got to be organized. You got to have a sheet. You know, who should I be talking to? When is he in? And you got to find a brother that then can go back at that time with the letter, with the tax form, with the Square credit card reader, and try and do it. It's a multi-time.
We try to go to companies that obviously have a college student
Yeah.
target audience, but like we've been trying to contact Pike alumni who are pretty successful or like have
Yeah.
successful companies to donate, and mainly don't get responses from them. Do you think that's really a bad idea?
Well, I think Pike alumni is a great idea. I mean, if you've got the list, that's great. I mean, I had one chap, Cal State Northridge, that sent it out to their alumni list, and they got a check for $1,800 from an alumni. I mean, so yeah, it's a great tool. We're trying as a foundation to get the alumni associations aware of what we're doing. It's pretty hard to do right now, and we try really hard for national sponsors. I mean, I've been contacting and trying very hard, and I still only have one. I mean, so when I say sponsors is not the easy part. It's the one part you shouldn't put a lot of time in. Put the time in the online, donation thing. You'll get a lot more money that way than you will with sponsors. Other questions? Anyone? Come see us. We make philanthropy easy. I mean, everyone that works with us tells us if we follow the book, we have a great event. So, it's. I mean, I'm not here to pitch you guys, but I'm going to. I mean, everything I've taught you here, you can put into any philanthropy. Okay, if you don't want to work with us, that's fine. But use the 4, pillars of philanthropy and fundraising, and you will raise more money. I mean, that's easy. Okay? Yeah.
Just my one question. We already have a philanthropy through our dance marathon, but we're required to do more than just the one.
Yeah.
And we have 100 men in our chapter also, and it becomes a fact of how we're going to motivate our brothers to do, because we already do a lot through Don, how are we going to motivate them to do another philanthropy on top of that? And when you have a mass amount of brothers, it kind of gets passed on to the younger guys, or everyone else is going to show up, so I'm not going to show up. So it becomes more of a factor of motivation. How can we work on motivating our brothers?
Yeah. I really believe that starts at recruitment, okay? I think that when you're bringing a brother in, you need to be saying to them, we do dance marathon, spring, fall, I don't care when, and it is a school-wide event, and it is something that is important to us, and you will be required to participate. The other semester, we run this philanthropy. This we run, and I'll tell you, Dance Marathon doesn't mean that much on the Smythe Award, okay? The other philanthropy that you do is what matters, okay? So you need to say to them, this is our Pike signature event, and you are required to be there. I mean, membership has its privileges, but it also has its requirements. Okay? I mean, that's in any organization. There are things, if you want to join the group, that you must do. And it's going to, you can give up on the seniors, okay? But you can start with the new group coming in and start there and build it that way. And, you can make a requirement of your pledge class to work on this second philanthropy. I mean, you guys can, you can't be afraid to require people things. I mean, if some guy says, I don't want to do that much work, do you want him in your group? I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, what you want are go-getters, guys that are going to be important to you. And some slacker isn't going to be that guy. Was that too blunt? Okay. I thank you all for coming. I invite you to visit our booth. You can watch the 3-minute video that tells you what we're all about, and we can give you some information, and we'd love to work with any of you. Down on the mezzanine next to some t-shirt guy. I mean, once you buy your t-shirt, you'll see us, okay? Anything else? Great. Thank you all for coming. The speech is in a box back there. If any of you want it, please take it, and my business card's back there. Yeah.
When foundations raise a lot of money, so they, obviously they have a cause and a reason to go for it. How do you then narrow down to what you're actually going to invest the money in?
Well, every foundation should have a mission statement.
Yeah.
And that mission statement should tell you what they are going to do.
Right.
Our mission statement is to fund research for blood cancer.
Right.
So that means that the money we raise goes to that.
Sure.
So the way we work it is we have a panel of doctors.
Okay.
Okay, and they send out, when we tell them how much money we have to give them, they send out to researchers. There's a network,
Yeah.
and they say, if you're interested in receiving a grant, send us your information.
Right.
And so then they read the grants, they get it down to 2 or 3 that they think are really possible, and then we sit down with them, they explain what they're doing, and we say, I like that one.
Interesting.
So that's how we do it. I can't speak for every foundation, but some, like Susan G. Komen, she raises so much money now.
Well,
okay, that her money goes both to help patients and to research and to buy equipment at hospitals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because she raises so much money. I mean, so, but their mission statement should tell you what they're doing with the money.
For sure. Yeah, because I had a discussion with actually another one of our alumni. I'm an alumni.
Okay.
The other day, and he had sent this TED Talk over, and the guy had raised, the problem is that he spent 40% of what they made basically in professional marketing.
Yeah.
To get the thing going and
Yeah.
ads in the New York Times, but by spending $500,000, he raised 20.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, but then the way that typical foundations and charities are evaluated is how much of the money that you raised did you give
away. Right.
And it makes sense why that's an important metric when you look at some of the ones that piggyback off the Make-A-Wish Foundation,
Yes.
and they basically steal all the money.
Right.
There's I think the Tampa Bay St. Petersburg Times or something puts
Yeah.
that list together,
Yeah,
and they're the 100
right.
worst, and it's just
Right.
they're horrible.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why there's that metric, but I come from an investment banking research
Yeah.
background.
Okay.
So what we do is we evaluate public companies and say, you should buy or not buy the stock.
Right.
And I couldn't help but think that there should be some sort of a rigor as far as foundations and charitable organizations go.
There is a site
Somebody do
that
stuff
you
like this?
can get on. I think it's Charity Navigator or something.
Okay.
And we're not on it yet because we've been relatively small. And
Yeah.
but they list, charities by A, B, C, like that. And that's the only one I know of. I don't have a problem spending $500,000 to raise $20 million, but I'm never going to raise $20 million, with the Pikes.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course not.
our philanthropy is
done through college campuses. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing we raised $250,000, you know, in this time to, you know, at $10 a biker. I mean, so when you think of it that way, you know, we have the potential of if we were going to get into more chapters, I mean, we have the potential of raising close to $1 million a year for research.
Right.
And it doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, that's great.
There's, you know, we're all volunteers.
Yeah.
There's no paid staff. I have 2 private foundations that, you know, give me a little money every year that help pay for the banner, the wristbands, and things like that. And all of us that travel pay our own expenses. So we don't have that, you know, kind of a system. And we're, you know, until we get big enough that we're with the alumni associations and, you know, everybody outside of the Pike, you know, college campus, you know, we're not going to be in a position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I couldn't help but think, because the way the guy was doing the TED Talk, and he was running the Bike for AIDS or something, like a 3-day bike, and they were raising tons of money, and then they booted him as the company supplying the marketing because it was too much of a cost. And then they raised nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And so I couldn't help but think that I have absolutely no problem if a charity is that good and is able to turn that kind of a return. I would have no problem with my money being spent that way. And I think a lot of people wouldn't, but they just don't have the information to make those decisions.
They don't have the information. What we're looking for is a big Pike alum donor, you know, to help us, you know. But that's, you know, down the line. You guys have questions?
I'm with.
Oh, okay, okay. Are you guys all together?
Introduce myself, talk a little about Bring the Cycle.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
My name's Sean.
Hi.
We have, at Georgia, we have volleyball tournament.
Okay.
We raised about $6,000 this year. And I planned it, ran it, you know, last year's plan, this year's external. And I found that we didn't actually make any money. It was like brothers showing up with money, but brothers didn't care. So they're like, oh, we got 170 volleyball girls.
Right.
So I'm looking at completely ditching that for next year. / maybe keeping it because the brothers just won't shut up if we get rid of it. Versus bringing, you know, Cycle for Life in the fall. But I'll be emailing you about it.
Okay.
My mom does philanthropy for Children's Health Care Atlanta. So
Okay.
501c3 is my territory.
Yeah, okay, you understand.
But
Yeah.
I'll definitely be contacting you. So
Great.
I was going to ask for email and then I was
It's all there, and my card has it, you know. And if you stop by the booth and sign in, I will send you an email with more information.
Definitely.
And
definitely
basically, you know, stop by, fill out the little form that's there. When you get the email from me, it tells you what you need to do to join our group. It tells you everything we give you. It tells you, you know, typical information, and then you can present it to the chapter. And I always tell everybody to go to chapter meetings, show the website, show the 3-minute video. It gives the vision from Gamma Mu. You can see it down there. And, you know, then you can show them a chapter page, and, you know, I think most of them get kind of excited then they see that all the Pike chapters are doing it.
Right.
And, you know, it's kind of...
I mean, I don't know, it's kind of underwhelming for me when I planned the volleyball tournament in the way that, like, we had all these people, but we weren't actually making any money. But I love the model, just what you've said and what I've been hearing from people. That the very little cost is, you know, you're actually making new money. You're not just acquiring.
Exactly.
So that's
you
why
know, and I will tell you, you know, when you look at the video, you can see at UNH, I mean, they've started with 12 bikes, they're now at 30 bikes. Okay, I mean, it's gotten to the point that the sororities go, this is a really fun event. I mean, so, you know, that's, you know.